let's jump into Shelly and Fraser-Pryce, because this part is something I really want to cover again, right? Because since I spoke about it yesterday, Shelly and Fraser-Pryce has now come out and made a statement. So for those who do not know what happened, I want to just take things from the top so that you have an understanding, what really transpired with Shelly and Fraser-Pryce. So Shelly and Fraser-Pryce, as well as a few other athletes, chose to not stay at the Olympic Village. We've seen in previous years where she has chosen not to stay at the Olympic Village, and that's well within the athlete's right to not stay there, especially given the conditions at the Paris Olympic Games. We even saw where Coco Gauff was staying at the Olympic Village and had to leave because the conditions were just terrible. No, not just from a bedding perspective, you know what I mean, but the heat, and you were only getting fans, you know what I mean. Some athletes in one room had one fan, some were lucky enough to have two, but those were the conditions for the athletes, right? So Shelly Fraser-Pryce wisely, chose not to stay at the Olympic Village. But what happened was that it seems as though they were allowed to pass through a particular gate along with the said athletes that came on the bus, the same team bus that would pass through the gate for the athletes that would stay at the Olympic Village. But they seem to change the rule overnight. And when Shelly and Fraser-Pryce turned up at the gate, as well as we did see Sha'Carri Richardson and other athletes were there, they were not allowed to enter the gate. And this was the gate to the warm-up track, which track is, this was for the semi-final in the women's 100 meters. And I'm talking about a few, hours. I don't even know how long before, actually, because it didn't look that long before, given what transpired after, right? So I'm going to play the first video of Shelly and Fraser-Pryce trying to get access, and then I'm gonna play a few other videos for you guys since then, plus tell you about Shelly and Fraser-Pryce's statement coming out after. So here we go. So that's Shelly and Fraser-Pryce, as you can see, being turned away from the gate, right? She's trying to access the gate to the warm-up track. They're being told that they can't get into or get in through this gate. They have to enter from another gate, right? I'm going to play another video so that you have an understanding of what exactly they told Shelly, because Shelly herself is going to tell you.
Change the rule yesterday. Like, how can you change the rule and then not say it? So you're asking all the athletes who, for whatever reason, don't stay in the village, them can't come through the gate. We came through this gate yesterday and went through security and was okay. The man said we can't go, we have to go all the way up where everybody else are enter to come back down here, sir. That's crazy.
This is crazy. Hey, what's happening there? What's happening over here?
All right, so that was Shelly and Fraser-Pryce explaining, what they told her, that she can't enter. The rule apparently changed overnight. They didn't advise that, so there was no communications being made to the athletes that were outside the Olympic Village that, hey, you can no longer enter through this gate, right? Don't know why the information wasn't passed on to, the team managers for each of these, teams. As I said, Shelly wasn't the only one that was out there. We saw Sha'Carri Richardson out there as well. So this now is the final little snippet with the athletes. We see Sha'Carri over there. She's trying to make one last move to see if she's able to get in through the gate. Shelly's had enough. She's moving on with her life and she's leaving. They're going to open the gate and it's going to seem as though they're allowing the athletes in, but nah, they close it right back.
So we're stuck in the bus. Wow. So they let people out, but they won't let you in. Yeah, okay.
So there you know, Sha'Carri Richardson and Christian Coleman. Come peep, Christian Coleman did it too. I peeped him. So as you can see, they decided, all right, it seems that we won't be able to get in through here, and they left. However, shortly after this whole thing went down, and I remember saying in a video that the warm-up for the athletes is very, very crucial to their performance. We got news, breaking news. I was here on live that Shelly and Fraser-Pryce has withdrawn from the women's 100-meter semifinal. It was shocking for, many of us Jamaicans. It literally sent shockwaves across the world hearing that she has pulled out, especially given how she was looking leading into the semifinal. Then we got word that it seems as though Shelly Fraser-Pryce picked up an injury either during warm-up or because she didn't necessarily complete her warm-up properly, because maybe she was rushing it because she didn't have enough time, right? So we're unsure at this particular point, because there are a few, reports saying, one, it wasn't an injury, she just didn't have any time to warm up. There's another report saying that she suffered a hamstring injury, right? Because she was trying to rush the warm-up, and there's another one saying that, she suffered a hamstring strain. So I'm not exactly sure what exactly transpired as it relates to whether or not she is injured, if she got a chance to warm up, if she was rushing the warm up, not sure. But what happened was that because of the events that transpired here, where she, was barred from entering the warm up track in a timely fashion so that she could do her warm up prior to the women's 100 meters, she was forced to pull out of that semifinal. That is what happened. Right now, since then, Shelly and Fraser-Pryce came out, right, and she made a statement on her social media page. I believe this is her Instagram page. So let me share this portion so that you guys can see. All right, so I hope you all can see. Let me just zoom it in a bit, because sometimes y'all tell me that you can't see what is happening. So Shelly Fraser-Pryce says, "It's difficult for me to find the words to describe the depth of my disappointment. I know that my supporters share and shoulder this disappointment with me. I am truly blessed to have a steadfast support of my fans since my Olympic debut in 2008. The support of my fans, my country, and the larger community has rooted me in immense gratitude that has sustained me throughout my career. With every step and win, you all have been there for me. My faith has always affirmed my trust in my journey. Thank you for continuing to be Thank you for continuing to be with me today and every day." Child, reading this thing is making me so emotional. I'm literally in tears here reading this. I can't. So that is what Shannon Fraser-Pryce said. She didn't really speak to what happened, right? Because you know how she is, right? She's always going to come out and not necessarily point fingers at the issue, right? Or lambast the Paris Olympic I guess for these people right now, the people that are volunteering at the gate to let the athletes in, she's not going to necessarily come out and lambast them at this particular moment. But I still want to hear from her perspective really what really transpired. But this is what she had to say. She was just grateful for the continued support, and she saw the well wishes online clearly, and the fact that there's a lot of disappointment, not in Shelly but in what has transpired that led up to this particular moment, right? And then following that, we got some more insight, I would say, or opinions, let's put it that way, from media personnel, as well as what could potentially happen in from barring Shelly and Fraser-Pryce, Shakira Richardson, and many others from entering the warm-up track. Virtually, the IOC at this point could be sued, right? Could be sued. That is pretty much what's being said right here. So let me play this last video, right? And then yeah.
That is confirming what we are sort of seeing it to be potentially true. What would you have to say about that?
Someone's in trouble there. Rules are rules, and the rules apparently changed overnight, but no one informed the Jamaican team what the problem is. Shelly Fraser-Pryce isn't staying with the team for whatever reason. She's out of the Olympic Village. That means she can't come in on the team bus. And as she said, through the rounds, she got a taxi or other transport, got to the warm-up track, was allowed in. They've changed the rules overnight. Now, we're not talking, and it doesn't really matter the standard of athlete, to be honest. Everyone should be treated the same. But you are talking about an athlete who is literally the queen of the track. She has medalled at every single major championships since 2004. So this is going to cause a big upset. This is
2008,
heads are going to roll here.
And it's not just heads are going to roll, not just the head of the person who didn't let her in, but this is going to go to the very top of the IOC and the French authorities as well, who've organised this Olympics, because there is no way that that should be allowed to happen.
They can't let it go, and unfortunately it's a minefield. And listen, I'm no lawyer, But you're talking about someone, as I said, who is globally decorated, and this is her last Olympic Games. Now, all of a sudden, you could go in, you didn't let me run, this is a loss of earnings, I potentially could have been going for another Olympic gold medal, and rightly so, she would have. What does she do now? Does she
All right. So, yeah, Trackies, this is going to become a big deal, right? Jamaicans are making it a big deal, but also the world is making it a big deal, rightly so. I'm happy that the world recognizes, like, what is happening here? How can, you just randomly make a rule and not notify anyone that there's a rule change? Have the athletes actually there and turn them away. These are world class athletes. These are athletes that have been representing the sport at the highest level. At that particular point, you bend the rule and open the gate. I don't care. You open that gate. You can't have them missing crucial warm up time. Crucial warm up time. And now at this particular moment, Shelly and Fraser-Pryce was forced to withdraw from the semi-final. This could have been her moment to go out with that absolute bang at the Olympic Games, and she was robbed of that moment because of some rule change. Which one, the rule change didn't even make any sense in the first place. But two, you didn't do your due diligence by notifying the camps that, hey, we have made this rule change. So going forward, all the athletes that are not staying at the Olympic Village are required to enter from X location and no longer Y location, right? You didn't do your due diligence. So why is it now the athletes that have to pay the price? And the ultimate price at that, not being able to compete. Heads have to roll as far as I'm concerned. And I agree with them. Heads at the highest level. Because these type of blunders at the Olympic Games, this is the Olympic Games. It's unacceptable. This isn't some little local meet that you're keeping running your back of your yard. This is the Olympic Games. You can't do this. You can't have these things happening. So that's what happened with Shelly and Fraser-Pryce. And I'm standing behind whatever action right now is being taken against these people that are hosting. You know what I mean? Because I've been seeing nonsense left, right, and center, and it just continues. As far as I'm concerned, Paris should never host anything again in their life.